I became very aware of what it's like not to have a home. No matter how small it is, at the end of the day, you have the right to be able to say, I'm going home. I didn't have that. It was very, very difficult, man, but it put a determination in me too, because I was determined. I got nowhere to go except up. And I was in comedy. I just wasn't making nothing. All the money I was making, I was sending back home to my wife and kids. That didn't last long. She got tired of that real fast. I didn't see my kids for almost 2 years. They just left, boarded up the house. So next thing you know, I'm in a car. I lived there, but it taught me determination, man. It also taught me that no matter what happens to you, it ain't over. It ain't over. Ain't no such a thing as over. As long as God wakes you up, that means he ain't through with you yet.
The thing that you thought was gonna kill you is a light thing for God. What I want you to get out of it is that this wilderness, this dry place you're in will not kill you. You will not die here. Your vision will not die here. What God ordained for your life, I know it's dry. I know your heart is broken. I know you've been afraid that this wilderness will kill you. But thus saith the Lord, this wilderness you're in is not the end, it's the beginning. God says, when I get through, you're gonna find that your life, your business, your calling is just beginning. You've been trained to be scared. You've been taught to be afraid. You've been taught for depression. Thus saith the Lord, you will dig ditches in your valley, because what I got for you is bigger than the ditch you're in. That's why it's been so dry, and that's why it's been so hard. You have always gotten your blessings on credit. It's easy to talk smack when you didn't have to fight. You didn't have to crawl, you didn't have to cry, you was talking theoretically. That's why he said, after you suffered a while, after I burned out your pride and your selfishness and your ambition, I'm going to use you like you've never been used in your entire life. Anytime God is gonna get ready to really bless you with a promise, you have to go through a dry place. If there's anybody in here that's been in a dry place, it's because you're getting close to the promised land. When you're tired and you're weary and you're frustrated and you don't have what you need, it's because God's got you in the wilderness. You are closer to the promised land than you've ever been before. And I want you to give him a 5-minute praise by faith.
It's easy to lose our passion for life. At one time, we were excited. We were believing for our dreams. But over time, if we're not careful and things haven't turned out the way we thought, we'll become dry. You smile, but there's no real joy behind it. You act normal in front of people, but alone, you're discouraged. You wonder what's wrong. We can be dry because we've been hurt. Instead of letting it go, we've held on to it. Some people are dry because they have the wrong perspective. They think their challenges are too big. And when you feel the blahs, no passion, thoughts tell you nothing good is in your future, recognize that's the enemy trying to get you into his territory. When you're positive, full of praise, that's God's territory. The enemy can't touch you. He can't cross that line. And maybe you have a good reason to be dry. You don't see anything good up ahead. That's when you have to dig down deep and say, no, I am not going to live discouraged, focused on what's wrong. I know God is on the throne. I know He's bigger than these problems, so I'm going to live this day in faith, expecting His favor. And thoughts will tell you things like, you're a victim. Life hasn't treated you fairly. If you let those thoughts play long enough, they'll keep you from your destiny. You can think yourself out of a dry place. You got into discouragement by thinking about how wrong something was, thinking about who hurt you. You've thought yourself into defeat. Now turn it around and start thinking yourself into victory. What God started in my life, He's going to finish. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. Get your mind going in the right direction. Think yourself into joy. Think yourself into a positive, faith-filled attitude. You have to be proactive. If you'll fill your mind with the right thoughts, there won't be any room for the wrong thoughts. Don't come home from work and sit in a dark room and watch sad movies, listen to sad songs, and hang around with sad people. Open up the windows. Let some light in the room. Put on some inspiring music. Maybe go outside and take a walk. Exercise. God has put certain hormones in us. When we activate them, they give us a boost and make us more passionate. But you can't override natural laws and expect to feel good. You need to exercise. You need proper sleep. Practical things can keep us from being passionate and having the vision and energy that we should. It's important who you spend time with. Many times we gravitate to people that are like us. If we're discouraged, we find discouraged people. You need to spend time with people that have what you want, not that struggle in the same area. Talking about the problems, reliving the hurts is only going to pull you down. The situation may not change, but you can change how you're responding. Arise from the depression in which the circumstances have kept you. Rise to a new life. You walked into that dry place. The good news is you can walk out of it. Shake off the blahs. Shake off what didn't work out. You may have some difficulties, but most likely there's a lot more right in your life than there is wrong. Come out of that dry place. You weren't made to drag through the day, discouraged, enduring life. You were made to enjoy life. I'm asking you to stay out of dry places. Don't let your mind think of all the negative. It may be true, but don't go there. The flesh loves to feel sorry for itself. How you weren't raised right. Just another day. I got to drag through it. As long as you think that way, you're going to live defeated. God's plans for you are for good. There are opportunities in your future bigger than you can imagine. That financial difficulty is not how your story ends. That addiction is not going to hinder you your whole life. God has the final say. Why don't you thank Him that it's on the way? Why don't you be grateful for what's right in your life? If you'll get your fire back, God is going to renew your strength. He's going to give you passion, energy, vitality like you've never seen. You may be weary. You've fought hard, but it doesn't seem like that discouragement will go away. God knows how you feel. You may not be able to walk out of the dry place on your own. Don't worry. God is about to send an abundant rain to refresh you. You're going to see an abundance of joy, an abundance of strength. The forces that have held you back are being broken right now. The enemies you see today, you will see no more. Get your hopes up. Start expecting the abundant rain. Get ready for overflow. Get ready. God is about to exceed your expectations. You are coming out of that dry place into more than enough. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't go over to a dry place. Some of what you're facing is just the natural rhythms of life. The people that don't go down and get discouraged are the people that rule their thoughts. The people that know that God is still on the throne. Don't believe those lies that you've seen your best days. You wouldn't be alive if God didn't have something amazing in front of you.